Is Onyx planning something? Well, it seems like that to me. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but clearly I don't think they're planning for XCN to have this much of a pullback, but I'll get into that later and just kind of my thoughts on the charts when it comes to XCN. But I'll talk about this real quick first because Onyx, I feel like, put some words of motivation not too long ago because they made a post. They say how they're unfazed and how they're in their lane and how they're building. But there's actually another line in this post, and it talks about, and at least I'm quoting them, right? They say the better question, though, is what are we planning after Goliath? Now, keep in mind, they haven't launched the mainnet yet, right, when it comes to Goliath, and Goliath, after all, is their layer one blockchain. It's still in the testnet, but it seems like they're already looking ahead because now they're kind of talking about, okay, what's after the mainnet? And the thing is this, I feel like sometimes people may not really understand kind of the magnitude of them doing this because of the charts not looking the best. But actually, in the grand scheme of things, if we just kind of rewind the clock for whatever reason, like around a year ago, this would have been really talked about, right? But it's just right now, it's not aligning well with the altcoin space. This right here, I think it's pretty amazing fundamentally for Onyx if they could do the mainnet, but they're already seeming to look past that and they're looking maybe for what's next. At least maybe they're planning to. We'll wait and see. However, when I take a look at this, I just simply don't want to give up when it comes to Onyx. However, people like to tell me, well, it seems like XCN just keeps going down. Well, the thing is this, Bitcoin is literally below 70 grand as we speak. It's below 70,000, which that's having a pullback, right? And that's literally the biggest project out there within this space. And I don't feel like anything bad fundamentally happened to it, personally, in my perspective. I mean, the maximum supply is still 21 million. But besides that, we take a look at something like, for instance, in the case of XCN, the thing is this. If Bitcoin is literally having that big of a pullback, suddenly XCN is going to go on an independent rally of its own? No way, right? I've seen some altcoins do that, but I have some questions, especially those microcaps that randomly do that. But this is not a microcap when it comes to XCN. Keep in mind, XCN is a pretty established project that has over 140,000 holders as of right now. Even still, actually, which some people may find surprising, but I think that kind of maybe showcases the somewhat dedication that some may have still when it comes to Onyx. But besides that point, I can't speak on anyone's behalf. This is just from what I'm observing from the charts and the statistics. However, when I take a look at it as well, do I think it's over when it comes to Onyx? Personally, for me, I don't think it is. This is just my mindset. In terms of the project just going off into the abyss like that, no, I don't have that mindset because a lot of other projects are having a pullback. Now, I'm not telling anyone to do anything here. This is just my mindset, but it's not only just XCN. The thing is this as well. If I take a look at it, for instance, XCN, sure. I mean, we take a look at how the market cap is around 180 million. I mean, again, it's not looking good. However, if I take a look at it, when I first started acquiring XCN, the market cap was below 80 million. So even as of right now, it's still like a lot better than before. Now, granted, there's been a big pullback, but also at the same time, it was way harder for me to believe in it back then as opposed to right now because back then there was really no kind of thing I could really look back at in recent times and say, wow, XCN did that. There was really nothing I could look at when it comes to that, right? But as of right now, at least I've seen what XCN did in 2025. And not to mention, because it had that rally in 2025, granted, it has a pullback as of right now, but because of that, now XCN is ranked number 4 within the space of global trade finance in terms of popularity within the space. So after all, it didn't do such a bad thing, I feel like, in 2025 because it kind of cemented its sort of top 5 position within this space, or should I say within the niche that it's in. However, people like to say, okay, it's all meaningless because XCN is still down a lot. However, again, I'm looking to dollar cost average here. So, first of all, I'm not trying to exit. And also, if I'm trying to dollar cost average, it would only make more logical sense to me if I'm able to dollar cost average more when things are lower. This is just my mindset. Because why would I only want a dollar cost average when things are sky high. It just makes no sense to me. But even besides that point, if I take a look at XCN, right? Again, it's around 50 times lower than 25 cents. Yeah, 50 times approximately, which, okay, I get it. It's not such a good thing, according to some people. However, personally for me, the lower something is, hypothetically, in some other cases, the farther the ceiling is. So the lower something is as of right now, the journey later could be a lot more. But yeah, this is besides the point though. If I take a look at something like Onyx, even though again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, if I take a look at, for instance, the fundamentals that it has, the amount of holders, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, and also I take a look at the presence when it comes to this, it's just very difficult for me to give up on it as of right now because it's not the only one experiencing this. XLM's experiencing this, XDC, CBCN, XPR, Swiftcoin. So it's not only just XCN, even within its own niche. So I'm still holding, and I just don't want to leave like that because I have no intent to leave anyways as of right now. And if I leave, what happens? I just ride the roller coaster all the way down and just leave? No way, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to realize everything like that. As far as I'm concerned, personally, what I'm experiencing as of right now is still all unrealized anyways because I just haven't exited. But this is just my mindset. I don't want to realize that, especially at a time like right now, but this is just my mindset. But I just still am waiting when it comes to Onyx, and I'm just staying patient. That's about it, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. However, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll be sure to make more updates when it comes to Onyx. However, I just haven't given up. This is my mindset.